I'll invest in my business when I make more money. This was a thought process that I used to have when I started my business. And I'll be honest, one of the reasons I didn't progress as quick as I could. As a coach, one of the things we say to our clients is you need to invest in yourself. You need to get that accountability. You need to have the skills from an expert to kind of guide you down that way. Most of the time as a client, they're kind of running in the dark, bumping into stuff, not really getting to where they want to go. And our job as a coach is to turn the light on and to show them the route. They've got to drive it, but ultimately we can show them where they're going. But for some reason, as a coach, we do not listen to our own advice. We expect our clients to do it, but we aren't willing to take it on board ourselves. And this is something I've been super guilty of. When I started coaching, I thought I could do everything on my own. I resented the thought of paying £500 a month or whatever it was to a mentor. I thought, what are they going to teach me? What the fuck do they know, right? How are they going to help me out? And I tried to do everything on my own. I tried to make content on my own. I tried to onboard people on my own. I tried to set up all my sales systems on their own. And I made tons of mistakes. And it was only when I actually invested into a mentor that my business started to grow properly. I started to make better choices. I got rid of the stupid mistakes in my business. And guess what? It was a shortcut to success. The irony is, it's exactly the same thing we say to our clients, but we refuse to listen to in our own business. And I get it, I did it. I see what I see people say to me on Instagram if they don't want to sign up, but we know what it sounds like when our clients say it, but for some reason when we say it, we're like, oh, I believe my own bullshit. Now I get the logic. Like when you've got more money, you have more potential to invest into something. But in reality, if you're struggling to grow, more time isn't going to give you more growth. It's just going to leave you longer stagnated exactly where you are. So if you want to grow the business, just like if you want to improve your physique, your clients are saying this, you're going to need to put your money where your mouth is. You'd expect your clients to pay and you can get them results. You're going to have to pay someone else to kind of give you that shortcut and give you a heads up so you can actually start making more money. It's almost speculate to accumulate. That mentality is what you need to adopt rather than the alternative. And I'll just give some kind of other personal examples. Okay, so when I was stuck within my physique, I hired a coach, my business partner, Joe. I wasn't my business partner at the time, but I said, look, I need some help. I'm really struggling with this. I knew I couldn't do it on my own. Didn't really want to spend the money. No one wants to spend the money on a coach, but they want the outcome. And it got me to where I wanted to go. When I started jiu-jitsu, I was like, right, I want to progress quicker. I want to stop getting smashed. I'm going to hire a coach. And guess what? That was money I didn't really want to spend, but it got me as a shortcut. Right now, I've got a mentor paying nearly £1,000 a month. I've had multiple mentors. At every single point of that journey, I've not really wanted to spend the money. I've not wanted to just fork out from that. But it was like, okay, physique, I got stuck, progress. Business, got stuck, progressed. And then I got stuck and progressed, and got stuck and progressed. Every single time that progression occurred, it was with an investment in my business. And that's the point I'm trying to make to you guys. Not a sales pitch, just a realization of the fact that if you don't invest, and you think more time is going to be the thing that fixes it, it's not going to be. And the way I would think about this is instead of thinking about the cost of investment, think about the cost of staying exactly where you are right now. So let's say you're at £2,000 a month and you want to get to 10 grand a month, right? And you're thinking, I don't want to invest that £500 in a mentor. That's £500 investment. But for every single month that you aren't getting to 10K, you're losing £8,000 a month. So to spend £500 to get £8,000 extra seems like a no-brainer when you say it out loud, but we only look at that initial cost of 500. We're not thinking I'm actually losing £7,500 by not doing that investment, by not making that investment. And that's a crazy thought when you think about it. So quite often people say, I'm going to start in 6 months. I'm going to coach myself for a bit. So let's say they look at 6 months investment. They see that £3,000 and they go, I don't really want to spend that. What they're not thinking about is what 6 times 8. They're going, I basically be losing 48 grand by not doing the thing. By not investing, they're not getting to where they want to be. They're only looking at that small £3,000 investment rather than the bigger number. And speaking personally, had I not invested money at the point in time, right, had I not gone, okay, I need to invest here, I need to invest here, I need to invest here, I'd still be stuck back working in a corporate job, not where I want to be, earning a couple £1,000s a month. Because every single time I stepped up, because I was aware if I look at purely the investment, I'm going to look at this number. If I look at the gap between where I want to get to, that's how much I'm actually losing by not achieving my goal. And the really insidious part is that you kind of already know this. Like as a coach, you know the cost. Like you say to clients that, what's the cost of you not making the investment? You're going to be another year where you are right now. How's that going to feel? Like if you had to spend next summer feeling like you do right now, how would that make you feel, wasting another year? You know the cost, like the visceral feeling of that cost. You know, like you convince clients to do it. But for some reason, we don't listen to our own advice. And it's a weird thing. It's like, why do we not believe it when it applies to us? And I think it's because we're looking at that money. We're not really thinking and challenging our own beliefs. And again, I get it. I've been there and I've wasted so much time and money by not doing the thing. It's one of those lessons that maybe you need to learn yourself, right? Chris Williamson talks about like lessons that everyone says about, that sometimes you need to walk it before you realize you're like, yes, shit. It wasn't just me that thought that thing. Everyone else has made this mistake before. I didn't believe them. And that is the main question I would kind of challenge you guys with is like, I'm not saying sign up with me. I'm not saying sign up with a mentor. I'm saying there's got to be some level of investment to get to where you want to be. So the way I would kind of reframe that and look at it within yourself, and it's probably a similar conversation than you have with your clients, is like, do you believe that you are worth the investment? Do you believe that you are deserving of a boost up within your business? And when you start to kind of reframe it like that, the likelihood is you're going to just get out your own way. If you look at it like a cost, like that's going to be a thing. And one of the things that helped for me, and I can only speak personally, and this is what I say to people that sign up with me as well, they're like, oh, it's expensive. And I was like, yeah, look, this is the gap. However, what do you charge per month? Right, and at the time I charged £200. And I worked with a mentor and he charged £500. And I basically did the quick maths, so I'm terrible at maths, but I worked this bit out. It's 2.5 clients. Do I think this person can get me 2.5 clients, like 3 clients, and he's basically paid for himself and then some, in the time that we're working together? Every single month, that would be his cost done. And then everything else is profit. And I go, yeah, I think so. And in reality, it was a lot more than that. And that's what I mean by investment. It's like, just change the way that you're looking at the thing to, instead of looking at the downside of the initial cost, of like, hey, what's the investment? What's that going to lose me if I don't make this thing? And also, what is the true cost of that investment? Like, it's 1, 2, 3 clients, and then it's paid for itself. And you go, okay, so is there really a risk? Not really, no. And do I feel like I deserve to progress my business? And then honestly ask yourself, if I'm not doing it right now, why not? It might be time for that investment. So, as you know, and again, I'm just repeating the stuff that you say to your clients back to you, because I had to do exactly the same fucking thing to myself, is there is no perfect time. Like, by assuming there's a perfect time, we're almost just delaying the inevitable cost of that decision to the future. We're acting like that version of us in the future is going to be more motivated, more disciplined, is going to be further along than we are right now, is going to have more spare time, going to have more willingness to do those things. When in reality, it's not, it's just us. Because if we look back and we say, okay, if I said 3 months ago I'll do the thing, and you're still not at that point, why do you think you're going to be different 3 months into the future? You're not. You're going to be exactly the same person, same problem, same situation, just 3 months not where you could have been. And that is the consistent thing I would say to you. And honestly, again, look at success. Look at success. Like, one thing that kind of drove it home for me was I looked at other coaches and I thought, they've all had mentors, right? They've all kind of paid, invested, they've all done something to get them to where they want to be. Probably need to follow that trend, right? And it's the same, again, exactly the same sales pitch. You see guys that you like, I mean, every single footballer, rugby player, American footballer, basketball player, sprinter, athlete, they've all had a coach. So why do we feel like we can't do it within our business? So I guess the remaining thing is to say to you guys, like, what would you tell a client who's exactly where you are right now? Would you tell them to invest in themselves and make a change, or do something else? If you're stuck where you are right now, invest in yourself. It's never going to be a detriment. And I would just encourage you to change what you're thinking. And Alex Hormozy does some great stuff on this. And if you haven't listened to I say it's a podcast, it's like an audiobook. He said, if you want to make 2026 your year, listen to this. And it is one of the best singular bits of combined information on the internet about how to build the life of your dreams. And he talks a lot about investing in yourself, because it's the one true thing that's going to stay with you forever. It's the one asset that you consistently hold on to. He talks about stocks and shares and all this sort of stuff. He's like, just invest in yourself. And this is a thing that if you invest in, even if it goes badly, you've learned something. Now, I've learned something from every single mentor I've worked with. I've learned something from every single coach I've worked with. And I've worked with some bad coaches and I still learned stuff from them. And I've always used it to become better. And ultimately, I put that down to where I am right now. And I'll continue to invest in myself. So if you guys are stuck, you're not able to get to where you want to be right now, I really encourage you, invest in some way, shape or form, even if that is just read a shit ton of books. But most of the time it's the accountability thing that's going to help you out here. So go ahead and just do yourself the favor, getting out your own way, building something on that basis. So I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. I really do. If you would like to get any more information about me, go to my Instagram, Matt_Physique Collective. I do have an academy where I teach coaches how to make more money, which is currently being revamped, which is the Strong Coaching Academy on School, links down below. I do offer mentoring, but again, that's not what this is about. Honest sales pitch, not shilling. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Actually, sorry, if you want to check out the sponsors that I have below, peptides, blood work, supplements, these are all available in the UK. Please check it out. And you can see the discount codes there as well. So hope you get something out of this, guys, and really hope you have all the best of luck building your business. See you in the next video or the next podcast if you're hearing me in your ears. Thanks.